Alright, this is the 7th war of Season 7 for 4 Loki. We are facing off against MNG, Marvel's Notorious Gamers. I will be on Path 5 again this war with OG Vision, Magic, and I brought Omega because of a couple potential fights, but they didn't end up being what I thought they may be, so he actually just sits on the sidelines this war, as OGV was just the safer option in my opinion. This first fight, Node 10, is a rank 5 Dr. Voodoo. I thought this could potentially maybe be a Magic. Was one of the fights I had brought Omega for as well. But not that Magic would really be an issue on this node for OG Vision. But you see here, I sped up the footage. There's nothing special about this fight really with OG Vision. Just, you know, keep his power controlled. Don't do anything risky, and you know, that's pretty straightforward, easy fight. Actually gonna speed up all the footage of this war, as if you've watched my previous videos, you know, the OG Vision fights can drag on, and it's a very similar path to what I'm typically doing in most of my wars. As you see here, Node 16, it's a rank 5 blade. I've fought him here a good number of times over the past season and a half or so. You know, just gonna put the power reserve, you know, keep his power constantly drained. Don't do anything risky, just play off the parries, and, you know, in the end it's a pretty straightforward, easy fight. These first few fights, I think I was running full medium boost. I might have had just a small health boost on, but the next fight I wanted to make sure I was boosted a little bit bigger than just the smallest boost, just in case, but get into that in a moment. But yeah, this Node 16 blade, just like every other time, just, you know, play it smart. Don't do anything you don't need to, and just, you know, OG Vision's gonna lock it down with the power reserve pretty easily. So yeah, that was the rank 5 blade on Node 16. Now, next up, the Node 23 Masochism is a rank 5 mutant with charges, and looking at his profile, I know it's a Sabretooth. So this was why I wanted to just as a precaution, be a little bit more than just minimally boosted for these first few fights. You know, just because with the Masochism heals and then the heals that he builds up over time, I just wanted to play it a little extra safe, especially against these guys, you know. Don't want to give up a needless death by not boosting enough if, you know, I had a mess up or something. But on this type of fight, you know, I try to trigger the Masochism so I can then place the heal block on, which against Sabretooth will remove all his regeneration charges, as well as keep the next Masochism that I trigger from actually healing him. So for OG Vision, really not a bad fight. I guess it's a decent placement, you know, with his healing charges and the Masochism heals on the node. Maybe if you didn't have a champ with heal block, I don't know, maybe a fight like this, the regen might possibly get a little out of hand. I really don't know. Seems like an alright placement to me though. But in the end, for OG Vision, really not that difficult of a fight. Just play it smart, don't do anything you don't need to, and you know, try to keep the regen in check with the heal blocks. Pretty straightforward. So, yep, that was the rank 5 Sabretooth on Node 23. Next up, we have the Node 29 rank 5 Killmonger. It's pretty late in the war at this point, and we were actually up by 1 death at this point in the war. So I throw on a power boost as they were just in the store, just because, you know, it helps you to get the SB2s going nice and quick in the fight, and keep his power bar controlled quicker in the fight. So that's really helpful in, you know, stopping the ramp up of the node with all the crit resistance and extra armor up that he gets from filling bars of power. But even then, you know, with the Masochism on the node, if you struggle to keep power locks, you know, like right there, it didn't stick, so he's building some power. If the power locks don't stick, you know, you're still gonna be feeding into his power bar. Yet again, right there, power lock doesn't stick. so he can still build up those resistances. So early in the fight, it helps to get that SP2 going as quick as possible because you're not feeding into his power bars early as much. And as the fight goes, like there with a power lock again not sticking, if they don't stick, you know, it really ramps up his crit resistance, his armor, everything. Like everything about the character really ramps up. So yeah, just, you know, playing this like I would any other Node 29 Killmonger, just trying to keep them SP2 cycles going, get them into the corner like I've had most of the fight here. You know, getting those stand-up intercepts as often as I can, doing the 4-hit back out light attack on his medium dashes. Really just, you know, try not to mess up in the fight and hope, keep your fingers crossed in the end that it's enough, because, you know, you've seen how these fights can really come down to the last 15 to 30 seconds-ish. But with the power lock, it definitely helps keep you from coming down to those last second finishes. That's why I threw it on with this war being so close. So yeah, that was the Node 29 Killmonger. Next up, I have the Node 36 Stun Immune Bleed with Breakthrough and Rolling Thunder. You see it's a rank 5 skill champ, and there was a Korg in his profile, so that was the main reason I had Omega Red in the team. I thought the Korg may be here, but it ended up being elsewhere on path 6, on BG's path, so I knew I didn't have him here, but I'd already had my team selected and in the war, so you know, Omega was on the team, but in the end I didn't end up using him. He was mainly in case that Korg was here, but as you can see, it's a rank 5 Thor Ragnarok. I actually was thinking about using my Omega for this fight just so he got some use this war, but you know, I thought maybe it was a Gwenpool, as he also had a rank 5 Gwenpool in his profile, but it ended up being this rank 5 Thor Ragnarok, so happy I brought OGV into this fight, as, you know, he really works around that 20 hit mechanic of Thor Ragnarok quite well with the power gains. So yeah, like any other fight here that I'd use OG Vision on, just kind of play it extra safe with the baiting the heavies and keeping the power in control with OG Vision. And in the end, it's a pretty straightforward, easy fight. And that is the rank 5 Thor Ragnarok. Pretty easy fight. Gonna move on to my next fight and my last fight of this war. I thought maybe I might be taking the Emma Frost, but someone jumped in on that, so I moved over to this Node 48 Cable mini-boss on the Plague Mine, Kinetic Reactor, and 10% Limper. Yet again, this will be another pretty easy fight for OG Vision, a fight I've done a number of times. Just gonna, you know, not even really worry about the power gain from the Kinetic Reactor when baiting heavies. You know, his heavy can be a little tricky where sometimes you get caught by it. But if you have a robot, you don't have to worry about it because the degen doesn't get placed onto robots. So in the end, not worried about baiting a heavy and, you know, possibly slipping up on it or anything. Just gonna bait heavies, not worry about his power so much. His SP1s you can just slip out of, so easy to counter them if, you know, you're not fully keeping his power drain throughout the fight. You see there, just playing for time to get to my next synthesis. Using up the parries as much as I can in the fight. At this point, I think I've pretty much worn out all the parries I can use with the Limber. So yeah, just gonna bait the heavies at this point. I don't know what happened there. I guess I dropped my block. Maybe I tried to slip out of it. I don't know. But yeah, nothing big. Took a hit to the face there for a second, but nothing big in the end. But yeah, pretty easy, straightforward fight for OGV, like the last. And that is the 6-star Cable on Node 48. We did end up losing this war by 2, I believe, to MNG. So great war to them, and thanks for watching.